Okay. I think we are. Let's see. I think we're live. Okay, there we go. All right. So I guess in some of these questions you might have been asked in interviews before, so I do apologize. It's just kind of just something that I kind of want to know and stuff like that. So what's your name? How old are you? And where are you originally from?
Yeah, my name's Robbie Lakeman. I'm going to be 33 on the 28th, and then I'm from Concord, New Hampshire.
Okay. Happy early birthday to you.
Yeah, thank you.
So what are you best known for?
Well, right now I'm best known for having the world record on the classic game, Donkey Kong from 1981.
Okay. Cool. And then how did you get into gaming, and how did you get into playing Donkey Kong?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've always been into gaming. I've been into gaming since I was about 4 or 5 years old. When me and my sister we got the Super Nintendo for Christmas, so I've always been playing video games. I never really played the arcade classics until about 2011. My friends, they were actually going to Fun Spot every single weekend to try to break a world record on a game called Floor Lords. So I just joined them and just supported them, and I just kind of tagged along and just realized I was good at the classic arcade game. So yeah, later that year I was already breaking a couple different records, and yeah, I decided after that to get into the games where there was a little bit more competition. So Donkey Kong is what seemed to make the most sense as far as the competition goes.
Okay. Cool. And then how many times have you held the world record for Donkey Kong?
Well, I've broken the record a total of 8 different times.
Okay.
Yeah, so the first time I took it from Hank Chen, and then there's a couple different times where Wes Copeland and I switched the record back and forth. So yeah, I think yeah he actually yeah I took it from Hank, and then I took it from Wes. I think 3 different times.
Okay. Okay. So you've beaten a dozen, or so times, whatever. So handful of times. Okay. And then do you hold any records in any other games? I mean, it could be console, arcade.
Yeah, all my other records are on the arcade games. So yeah, just being close to Fun Spot, I had a bunch of different games that you don't really see anywhere else. So yeah, I've gotten a record on games like Stratovox. I saw the record on Crazy Kong,
Okay.
Pulsar. I had the record on Death Race for a little while, and then yeah, that's mainly it. And then yeah, Buggy Challenge was another one, driving game. So.
Okay.
Uh,
Okay. Yeah. I've played Death Race before. Closest arcade kind of big to me is Galloping Ghost. So I've been there before and played Death Race, and that's kind of an interesting game. I think it was pretty kind of not critically acclaimed, but kind of hated on because it was like you're running over people, basically. Correct?
Yeah, yeah. There was actually some controversy behind that game where, yeah, there are people screaming that you're running over. So I think they justified it by calling them zombies and not people. So yeah, I guess they got away with it that by doing it that way.
Because killing zombies is okay.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
So why Donkey Kong? Of I guess out of all the classic games you could kind of choose from, why that game?
Yeah, like I was saying earlier, that's where a lot of the competition was when I was starting to play the classic games. I had a couple records. One was on this game called Cheeky Mouse, which is basically like a virtual whack-a-mole. You're bashing mice with a hammer. They're trying to steal your cheese, and then there's another game called Strategy X where you're this tank and you're just going around shooting different objects and trying to get to the end of the cycle. But yeah, I mean, when I get those records, yeah, it was nice, and you know, we celebrated, but it wasn't. Yeah, it just wasn't as competitive game. So yeah, after I watched King of Kong in that same year, 2011, um, they showed that that was one of the games that a lot of people respected as one of the games to play, and uh, that's when I decided to go after that game. Just because I grew up playing Mario games and a lot of platform style games, so um, it sort of just made sense to just go back to the original Mario game.
Yeah.
I was never really into like the Pac-Man games or like Galaga. So yeah, Donkey Kong is what seemed to make the most sense. And after I saw some videos of Richie in the Kong offs, made me want to participate in that event as well.
Sure. Sure. Okay. Let's see. So do you have any other video game or so I guess you kind of said what kind of video games you like playing. Do you have any other hobbies other than from video games, so to speak? Because that's kind of what you're known for. Anything else that you enjoy doing as far as pastimes?
Yeah, I've had so many hobbies in my life. Before even getting into the classic gaming like I am now, I grew up playing hockey and baseball, and I played sports. I was really a big time golfer in high school, so golf is one of my big time hobbies, and I have a passion for that. Yeah, I was really competitive with that, and I also got into poker as well. Uh, I've done a lot of online playing, and I've made quite a bit of money doing it. So yeah, those are a few of the hobbies that I have, and I always pick up a few things here and there. Like I used to do like competitive darts in college, and I just haven't done stuff like that. So I mean, I do a lot of different things, and so it's hard to keep up with all of them. I picked up disc golfing recently. There's a course near me, so
Okay.
I'm into just picking up things here and there.
Sure, sure. Yeah, I've went golfing a handful of times. I Happy Gilmore it every time. So I
Yeah,
just can't get the technique down of driving the ball or anything. But disc golfing is definitely fun too. I've been a few times doing that. So yeah, it's really cool. Let's see. What would you say is the toughest aspect of DK?
the toughest aspect is really just the randomness and the fact that the earlier levels in the game are the harder ones. So you're really just you're fighting through this grind of just constantly restarting. Some days you'll get lucky and you won't have to restart. You'll get the game you want within the first 5 credits, which is really helpful. Because the other factors are fatigue and just kind of just battling your own brain because it's a long game. It's 3.5 hours, so you really just mentally have to be on your game for that long, and you can't pause or go to the bathroom or anything like that. So I mean, you have to be prepared and just really be in the state that you want to be in for an extended period of time. So that's really the biggest challenge.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, I can attest to usually the thing that gets me is the levels 1 through 4. I end up losing a life, or if I get past that, then lose life soon after that. So that, yeah, I would say that's probably the hardest aspect because it kind of levels out after like level 5. It's kind of the same all the way through. It's just playing kind of for a long period of time. Then basically, correct?
Yeah, so once you get to level 5, it's the same thing over and over again. So level 5 is the same as level 6, and 6 is the same as 12, and all the way up until level 22. So yeah, it's levels 1 through 4 that you have to point press through and have to deal with a lot more um, just really randomness as far as like the wild barrels and where they end up and how they chase you down. And but yeah, once you get to level 5, it's almost like a relief, and uh, yeah, it's the game's a little bit more manageable once you get to level 5.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Let's see. So, have you ever played any of the ROM variants? So, like on my machine, I have Remix, Deranged, D2K, etc. And then, have you ever tried any variants that I think there's maybe in MAME? where you can get past the kill screen. They kind of patch that, so to speak. And then if you have played it, what was your final score, I guess, of that?
Yeah, so there's a few different versions. So the guy who made the remix, he actually sent me a version of that. He was really nice to do that.
Okay.
So yeah, so I actually I played the remix. I don't know. I got the record on it at some point. I don't know if anyone beat me on that, but yeah, actually I get to the kill screen on remix. Um, so yeah, actually the end score was right around what I have in Donkey Kong. It was around like 1.24 or something million.
Okay.
So yeah, so I got to the end on the remix. I tried Deranged for a little bit. Uh, that one's a little bit more challenging just because of things like the rivets and the pie factories. I got like maybe halfway through, and then there's the no kill screen patch ROM, or yeah, it's the patch they patched the ROM so you could actually get past the kill screen. And yeah, at one of the Twin Galaxies events, they actually had two cabinets set up with those ROMs on there.
Okay. Cool.
So yeah, so Wes Copeland and I actually sat down at these two machines, and we had the setting on 6 men plus one, so you get 7 men total, and we were just gonna see how far we could get. Really, the ultimate promotion was to beat like the Steve Sanders score over the 3.1 or whatever million score
Sure.
that
Yeah.
was.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
yeah, so we were trying to beat that score, and I ended up getting 2.283 million,
Okay.
and I was at I think it was at level 53 or 54.
Oh wow. Okay.
Um, yeah, so what I was actually trying to do was I was actually skipping like top hammer, bottom hammer on on the barrel board. I was just skipping all the hammers because I was just trying to make as much progress in the game as possible. I was trying to see what happened at level 100
Okay.
if it would roll over. Yeah, like that was really what I was going for. And so that was just the score I ended up with. I know Wes ended up point pressing, and he got like maybe 1.9 million, and I think it was at level like 30 or 40 something. I forget, but
Okay.
yeah. So yeah, we tried playing all these different versions. So yeah, they're fun to do sometimes.
Cool. All right. Cool. Cool. Let's see. So, and I know you've been asked this question a couple times here and there, probably more so than just a couple. And there's theoretical max of the game. So, being that I think his name's John McCurdy, he just got a couple, I think, a few thousand points over your top score. What do you think, with all of your knowledge of playing for however X amount of years, what is the theoretical max that you could probably get? Because I think it's to the point, just watching your videos and stuff, it's just amount of luck, I guess, so to speak, for the most part.
Yeah, so I would say the theoretical max, as far as what I know and what I can do, is I would say it's a little over 1.3.
Okay.
Um, yeah, a little. I would say 1.31 would be like though. Yeah, just another like 10,000 points after 1.3. Just a little bit of wiggle room, but um, yeah, that's what I see as far as what I can at least within reason do. Um, and it would just be as far as like manipulating the formulas. I'd have to get a little bit higher after level four. I'd have to get more death points, like sacrificing my men, getting more points for those deaths, and yeah, just sometimes you just have these games where you get a few 70,000 point levels, and your level average is huge. So it's really just all those factors just coming into one perfect storm and having that happen for you, and just making sure that you don't make any mistakes along the way in that 3.5 hour game.
Okay. So I still stand a chance to get the world record, potentially.
Yeah, yeah. Oh yeah, there's still plenty of points left in the game. So yeah, I mean I'm at right around 1.25, and John's a little bit ahead of that. So yeah, I would say there's about another 50,000 points that could be acquired in the game.
Okay. I just need to get my butt in gear.
Yeah.
um, What is so like what say out of 5 to 10, 10 to 20 games? What is your I guess what's your average score out of those games? And then how many of those games do you actually kill screen?
I guess it really depends. I mean, there's so many factors as far as that goes.
Sure.
It'd be like as far as like how I wanted to play these games because I'm not going to play the same going for a record like I would playing at like a live event or if like an event wants me to do a kill screen or get a million points, I'd be playing totally different games.
Yep.
So I mean, I guess in theory, say we're at a live event, and I'm trying to just say qualify in the con off. Yeah, I mean, give me 20, 25 games, I would easily get over 1.1 million multiple times. I usually tell people I could kill screen nine out of 10 times, um, and that's I mean that's being a little generous towards the game. As far as if I had a few games where level four, 1 through 4, stole some lives from me, that would be really the only issue I'd ever run into as far as trying to kill screen on the spot. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, 9 out of 10 times I could kill a screen, which I mean, in theory, I could get a million points almost 9 out of 10 times,
Okay.
even almost pushing 1.1 that many times. So yeah, I mean, when I'm pushing that 1.2 barrier, that's when it gets a little more rocky as far as being able to do it more on demand.
Okay. Okay. Cool. Um. So what are I know there's I guess some I don't actually I don't even know how I would even answer this question nowadays with just recent within the past year or two news and whatnot with gaming and stuff. For like for instance Donkey Kong, how would you go about what are the steps of verifying your score? Who do you send it to nowadays? And then how do you get it? How do you get your score verified with Guinness, or is Guinness even a thing, so to speak, for scores as far as video games go?
Yeah, so actually, I might not know as much as other people, so I might not be the best source for this, but um, yeah, I mean the process really is just to make sure that you're playing on all original hardware and playing on an arcade cabinet with the four-way restricted joystick and an original arcade PCB. That's 1981. It's got the correct ROMs in it. Yeah, you have to film the entire gameplay in one filming, and then you have to just film the joystick. You got to film the back of the machine, make sure the ROMs look good. Yeah, you have to make sure that everything's just original, so you just verify it that way.
Okay.
And yeah, I mean, in the past, I've streamed it on on like Twitch or Facebook, so I've just verified it that way live. So like Jeremy Young on Donkey Kong Forum, he would accept my score like a live. I think even with like John's scores, he did the same,
Okay.
where he was just putting them on Donkey Kong Forum. So yeah, I mean, there's plenty of places that are keeping scores, track of scores like Donkey Kong Forum. There's Con Club, Twin Galaxies. They were, I mean, I don't know if they're actually providing scores for Guinness anymore, but um, yeah, I know that was a source for a while. I think you can even just submit it straight to them
Okay.
to Guinness if you want. I don't know. That part's a little shaky for me right now. I really don't know, to be honest.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I had heard something through the grapevine of whether Twin Galaxies be the go to know all kind of thing for that stuff anymore. So who really knows at this point? I guess. So let's see. So I'm assuming you probably play on a regular basis for the most part. Um, and I'm assuming you're going to probably go for your record again. Um, when might that happen?
Well, yeah, I'm just trying to play whenever I can. So right now I'm working 6 days a week, so I've been pretty busy, and Just having a day off. It's hard to want to put in that physical and that mental just energy towards something like that on your one day off. So I really haven't been playing a whole lot, not like I used to, but I'll still play. Like I played a little bit earlier today. Didn't really get a game going, but yeah, I'm gonna try to play more than one day a week coming up soon. But yeah, once the summertime comes around, I'll be wide open as far as having some time off and being able to play more. But I mean, even that's a ways away, so it could even happen before that. So I mean, it could happen any day. It's just a matter of just being able to put the time in, sitting down, having the game cooperate, and just me, being clutch and just getting the game done.
Sure. Gotcha. Okay. Um, any tips that you can think of that are maybe new within the past year or two that weren't known prior? I mean, I know most of the stuff that's kind of out there. I mean, I might not be aware of a couple things here and there. Anything that you could share, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few different things. I'm always trying to like come up with different moves, but for a lot of people who play the game, there's we call the jump at the top. You can jump the barrels twice or get the points off them twice. So we call that double jumping or the Gardikas jump because Andrew Gardikas came up with it. And yeah, I mean, there was that move at the top, and there was one day where at the very bottom, because there are certain spots you can do that move on the barrel board. So I decided one day that I saw two of the barrels overlapping, and I decided to try to do it on one of those spots. And so I actually got to jump the two overlap barrels twice, so I got the 600 points
Okay.
instead of just 300 points. So yeah, so it was actually I wasn't really too surprised or shocked when it actually worked, but yeah, the fact that really we actually had waited this long to try something like that is actually kind of shocking. But yeah, there was that move, and then there was another move where uh, if you're standing in the right spot when the fireball is climbing up, and it's about to freeze, like you can be right next to it, and then it'll stay, and then you can kind of leech it for extra points a few times. So it's just like these little nuances that we come up with, but nothing too groundbreaking recently.
Okay. And so when you said it freezes, I know the move you're talking about because I've seen it be done. So when it does freeze and you're jumping near that fireball at the top girder, um, does it you ever have to worry about it moving towards you and killing you, or is it just it kind of stay down there because that's the way the game's kind of flawed, I guess, so to speak, or programmed?
Yeah, so there are times where you know it's going to freeze. So they move in cycles. So once they get into a freezer cycle, they'll start to freeze, and then they'll climb up the ladder, and then they'll freeze again. And then there also will be cycles where it'll be above you, and it'll climb down, it'll freeze, and then climb back up and freeze again. So just knowing those cycles alone actually does come into the play later in the game, or really um, certain moments where you actually might need that fireball to either be frozen or stay frozen. Knowing those cycles helps. But yeah, to go back to that move, um, the fireball when it gets to the very top of the barrel board, it won't have the opportunity to ever come back down again. It can't ever come back down. So once it hits that freezer cycle, it gets stuck between two certain spots. So once you pick out the spot on the left where he'll go I guess you could say like there's freezing points A, B, and C. So um, yeah, if he's in freezing point A, he's not going to be able to ever go past freezing point A, but he can go to freezing point B and in between those, but he's not going to go back beyond freezing point A.
Okay.
So as long as you're standing to the left of that, you're going to be okay. And as long as he's stuck in that cycle, you just have to make sure. um, that it's actually in that cycle and not, and I guess in a way pretending to be.
Gotcha. Okay. Um, and then I guess for my last couple of questions, any kind of upcoming events you're going to be at for anybody that's interested in going to see you live or anything like that?
There's really nothing set in stone right now, but I know there will be a Kong off coming up at some point. I'm not sure about the dates on that. I thought it was going to be maybe this summer, but it might be the summer afterwards. So I'm not sure about that one, but I know for sure it's a. I'm not going to say for sure, but I would like to say I'm going to go to the Australian Kong off.
Okay.
That would be in, yeah, that would be in August. So I mean, if anyone in Australia can go to that event, so they have that, but that'll also be streamed on Twitch
Okay.
as well. But yeah, I don't know. I might be going to Gen Con. I was there last year in August um, for Billy Mitchell was there, and our friends at Arcade Fire were doing their musical promotion. So I was there for that. So I might go for that. I'm not sure, but at the very least, I'm going to consider the Australian Kong off, and then there's the Game On Expo, which is in Phoenix, in the city I live in now. So that I'll definitely be at again because it was a good event to go to.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think you and I had talked about maybe doing something here in Green Bay, like Lambeau Field or something. I did find out, called around and stuff, and they wanted about 8 grand for a room. so just
Yeah,
so just getting something, and I figured it would be expensive, but just getting something, even money raised and stuff like that. I don't really see it a possibility unless I had enough people to go and whatnot. So that's probably unfortunately not a thing that'll foresee any type of future, but that'd be pretty cool. Um, any other things I guess you'd like to shout out or you'd like to add? That's kind of all the questions I could really think of.
um, yeah. I mean, really, if anyone's looking to get into the game, there's a lot of great resources out there. Um, and yeah, because actually, when I first started playing the game, 2012, there was nothing really. There's no Donkey Kong form or anything. So, yeah, there's a lot of great resources out there. So, if you're looking to like learn the game, or if you're looking to join any forums or anything, yeah, Donkey Kong Forum .com. There's also Kong Club on Facebook. There's other classic gaming websites. Plenty of YouTube channels now, people putting tips and tricks on there. And then just even joining Twitch. And if you watch other people stream, it'll help you learn the game and even stream yourself, even if you're not that good. It's helpful to have other people watch and give tips as well. So yeah, that's pretty much what I would say to anyone interested in playing.
Okay. And then any social media that you like to for like Twitch or anything of yours or Facebook or anything?
Yeah, my Twitch is my last name Lakeman, Lakeman 421. Yeah, I'll stream on there occasionally. I'm not big on social media. I do have Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, and those are just under my name, Robbie Lakeman. But yeah, I'm not really too active on there. Maybe I will get more active at some point, but not really looking to do that right now.
Sure. Okay. All right. Yeah, that's pretty much all I really had. Maybe if I can think of some more questions, we can maybe chat again and then kind of do a part two possibly. But that's kind of all I had. So
All right, sounds good.
all right. Thanks for chatting with me.
Yeah, yeah. Anytime. Let me know if you want to do this again.
Sounds good. Bye.
All right. Bye.